thinking today about death, and I have 3 more immediate loved ones that eventually will take the journey of dying. And as I was thinking about my loved ones passing, I was observing the human physiology. I could feel the tears and the snot shooting into my face, into my eyes, into my nose. I was thinking, why does the body do that? My loved ones haven't died yet, but I just entertained the idea, the thought of them passing on, and my physiology, my body, released the chemicals that would produce the tears and the snot in my nose in the response of crying and sadness. I find it amazing how our realities and our reactions and responses are triggered by our thoughts, by the mind thinking about a scenario. It doesn't even have to happen. It just has to be a thought that you imagine, and you will go through all of the bodily reactions, responses. This human body is quite the machine, quite the biological computer, wired to feel all of these different emotions, this intensity. You see, when we are out of body, we do not get to experience any of this. Out of body, there are no tears, there are no emotions, probably. There's only the beingness of being all things, being the potential for all things in the spirit. But there are no emotions. You don't get to feel the intensity of this roller coaster ride called human life. So, in a sense, it's something really special. And no, it's not always comfortable and happy. It's intense. Human life is intense. And to get to experience it is really a privilege. It's really like midway joyrides, you know. That's what this earth is. You can have the drop of doom ride, or you can have the Ferris wheel, you know. It just is the place to experience the intensity of all emotions. And once we're out of body, we're back into the all, into the no thing, because no thing has formed yet. And I think that's why souls reincarnate. They got done riding, they'll go and get some French fries and a hot dog, take a break from the rides, and then they come back for another ride. So all the emotions that we are feeling are really confined to this reality here. And the way to experience them without fear is knowing that you are not this human. You're not just this human body. You're just in a suit. You're in a virtual reality suit. You put on your VR goggles and you get to experience things that give you an adrenaline rush. But when we die, when we leave this body, it's like taking the goggles off and you realize, well, I was just wearing the VR goggles. So if you are experiencing deep grief over the loss of loved ones, or deep grief over the loss of a career, it's because you haven't taken off the VR goggles yet, and you think you are the VR goggles. You are so entangled with the identity of the VR goggles that you think that, you know, you're really being harmed. Your soul is being harmed, but it's not. It's a video game. Once you take the VR goggles of identification off, and you see yourself and everyone else as the eternal soul that we are, then you can alleviate some of your suffering, right? Because suffering only comes from the mind and the mind's identification with these temporal experiences. So, to try to take the VR goggles off just once, just so you realize that you're not that mother that has lost a child. You're not the wife that has lost a husband, or the husband that has lost a wife. Those are just the role plays in this game, in this virtual reality. Those are just the characters that we are playing, but it's not your soul. You're so much more. So much more. That's why it says in heaven, all your tears shall be wiped away, because there are no emotions in heaven. Heaven is a neutral space, a neutral zone. There is not the intensity that we experience in this mind matrix.